In this counseling session, Sven guides a desperate young woman with an almost unbelievably tragic story to realize the painful truth about her mother and her father and her stepfather, with ultimately hopeful and uplifting results.
Can you possibly further invalidate me in any possible way? Then I should forgive the very person that raped a 2-year-old and I was the 2-year-old? Fuck that. No, sorry, no.
Like, how do you even begin to forgive something like that?
No, you don't.
From the New York City area, welcome to the Badass Counseling Show, where the master badass himself, Sven Erlandson, takes you deep and gives balm for the soul, baby.
Yes, we are balming it today. The soul and all that goes with it. That's you, that's me, that's all of us. We can all use a bit of balm to the soul. And that's what we're here for. So, welcome to the Badass Counseling Show. It's great to have you here. Whether you are checking in from Amsterdam and the nether regions of Europe, the northern parts, as we move into cloudberry season in northern Sweden and my people, or whether you are coming from the middle states of the United States, Kansas and Missouri and up in the Ozarks, we welcome all comers here to the show. It's great to have you here. I am joined by my team here, my faithful, really exceptional team that I'm so blessed to have, and I would not be here if they were not here. I've got Casey in the booth. She is on the QT tonight. That means she's quiet. And I've got Rob, doing the all things mastery, making it happen, buttons and knobs and so forth, and tending Carly the studio cat. Rob, what say ye?
Never know how loud you're going to be when you first come on. So you got me working, and I appreciate the opportunity to exercise my skills.
Just messing with you there, buddy.
I appreciate that.
Have you had any earworms lately, or have you gone to any concerts lately, Rob?
I did go to a concert in the city. It was really enjoyable. It was a launch party for a show, and it was great. Food was good, drinks were good, so that was all fine.
You and I went to that together, Rob.
Yeah, so you knew I was there.
Mary Bridget Davies doing Women That Rock, and it was a hell of a show.
Splendid.
Yes, it was fantastic. Just love it. It was really exceptional, and honoring the late Jerry Ragavoy, who started the Hit Factory and wrote such hits as Piece of My Heart and Time Is on My Side and so forth. He is actually a friend of the show. His widow is an exceptionally close friend of the show. And so shout out to Jerry Ragavoy, who got inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Very impressive.
With Taylor Swift, and who was one of the other ones they mentioned? Taylor Swift got inducted this year.
It was a good one.
Yeah, another good one. Anywho, how? Rob, tell us about Akari, if you would, please, sir.
All right then, Sven. Akari wrote in and said, I've been struggling with living an authentic life since, I guess, technically birth. My life started as conception from a drug deal. My mother didn't know she was pregnant from her dealer most of the pregnancy until her husband, my dad, told her she's pregnant. He could tell. She did drugs the entire time she held me in there. Surprisingly, I came out healthy, and life began as an insane roller coaster of survival for me. All my life has been kill or be killed, even before I knew the phrase. Adapt and evolve, or survival of the fittest. I have survived sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, and neglect. I've been trying to fully conquer suicidal ideations for over 13, maybe 15 years. I truly can't remember how long. The reason I want to meet you is because you might be able to get through my thick skull the shit I can't get out of my head from countless other therapists. Or maybe you have better advice. Either way, I feel like I'm going back into psychosis again, but I am my biggest gaslighter from so much manipulation through my entire fucking life. Any help is much appreciated. Thank you for existing, Sven.
Akari, great to have you on the show.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I want to dive right in. I got a bunch of questions I want to ask you, sort of rapid fire bullet point, okay? The first one I want to ask you is, As a result of how you came into existence, how you were conceived, and maybe as a result of anything else, you said you've been struggling to live an authentic life, I guess, technically since birth. As a result of how you were conceived or whatever other reason, what percent growing up did you feel like you were a burden, and what percent did you feel wanted?
I'd say 100% a burden.
Okay.
I felt maybe a few, probably like less than an actual percentage of wanted, but that was probably most of my own thoughts. I mean, I knew my mother wanted me. I knew
How
my
did you
mother
know
wanted
that? If you felt
because
almost 100% like a burden, how could you know she wanted you?
because at the end of the day, she would try her best to care for me in the ways that she could, despite struggling with drug abuse and
Then
also trying to shield the bullets from the abuse that she was dealing from my father also, and also what things happened with
then
my
how,
father also.
okay, then how was you being a burden 100%? How was that most conveyed to you?
Honestly, the fact that I was a parentified child. I was the therapist for
Got
my
it. To
mother
whom?
my entire life.
To your mother. Your mom's
Um,
therapist. Okay.
and also I was trying to save everyone in my family constantly. I was the savior. I was always looked at as the savior.
Right. But how does being mom's therapist and saving everyone equate to feeling like a burden? Or was there some other message in addition to that that made you feel like a burden? Message or messages that you got from either mother or father or both that conveyed to you were a burden? Or let me ask it this way. Let me ask a totally different question. You can take whichever one you want. What was a routine message you recall hearing from your childhood, either about you or something you should do, or just a routine, a message you continually heard being shouted at you, whether about you or what have you, from your childhood?
Dealing with my mother constantly in drug abuse.
And
And
above all else, how? What above all else? What was the number one thing dealing with my mother?
me constantly screaming at her to stop doing the drugs and me fighting with her over it, even though I'm a little kid and not understanding exactly how that
But
works.
how would that make you feel like a burden?
I also was raped by my father at the age of 2.
Raped by father, okay, and horrible to be sure. Okay, I'm not disputing that, but I still am not seeing how that makes you feel like a burden. That may make you feel afraid, terrified. That may make you feel small. And wanting mom to stop the drugs may make you feel insignificant. But I'm not understanding how it would make you feel like a burden. Help me understand. I genuinely want to understand.
Um,
Or was there some
it's
other thing that made you feel like a burden?
it's really like, I guess, just the culmination of just kind of all of it and me existing despite the fact that I really shouldn't have existed. My mother was deemed infertile at the age of 17, so I never really should have existed in the first place.
Did that child that was you, did you feel like this shit that was going on was your fault?
I always felt like it was my fault for existing, and
Like the problems that were you their only child, first of all? You must
I
have
was
been
my mother's only child,
mother's only
but
child.
father had 3 older sons that were 16 years older than me,
Okay.
and
And you
I
said,
didn't realize he was the monster in the shadows the entire time until I started growing up, and after my mom died, that's when I started realizing he was actually the monster lurking in the shadows, and
oh,
how
okay. And mom died when you were how old?
I was 13 years old.
13, and mom dies. And you said she had been eating a lot of shit from dad all those years. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
And dad raped you when you were 2. Anything else that dad did to you?
Uh, he would, of course, there was this one time when he beat my ass so red that my ass was red hot, and I can't remember much
Okay.
else, but it was in kindergarten. We trying to get dressed. Well, I wouldn't get dressed for kindergarten because I don't know what. I was a little kid. I didn't want to get dressed for kindergarten.
Sure. Understood.
And so he
Okay.
beat my ass, absolutely red.
And would he
And
say things, do things? Did you have a lot of interactions with him? Were there other things?
yeah,
And what sorts of would he say things to you, or was it routine for him to treat you a particular way, or not?
yeah. He used to, of course, try to be a lot more, trying to pretend to be like he was the sweet savior angel man to me when I was in my like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 year old age. And then once mom died, he became more neglectful and started abusing drugs more openly around me. And that's when I realized he had been suffering through drug abuse the entire time and just letting mom take the blame for all of it too. I started discovering more of the family secrets. And he started neglecting me for the casino, drug abuse,
So after
and
mom
women.
dies, did you live with dad then?
Yeah. And
And
then after a time, I started to kind of house hop from best friends' family to other best friends'
and you
families
stopped living with dad and did the house hopping because why?
because of finding out my dad had raped my sister-in-law
When she was how old?
when she was in her late 20s, I believe it was, if I can remember correctly.
And so you're a
I was,
teenager, you discover that he rapes her when she's in her late 20s. That causes you to leave because on moral grounds or because you feared for your own safety?
moral
Because you
grounds
already
and my
knew
own
that he had
safety.
raped you at 2.
Yeah, actually, I was still in the process of confirming that. I was still in the process of trying to really reel in, was that actually how could the man who chose to keep me
Right,
when my biological father never wanted me also
right.
do something so heinous to
So
me?
we are not talking about your biological father then.
Yeah, my biological father wanted nothing to do with me from the moment he found out he impregnated my mom.
And what
No.
is the fundamental message that sends to the child when biological dad, to use your words, wanted nothing to do with me? What is the fundamental message that the child receives?
I guess I'm worth nothing.
Right.
I'm worth shit.
I'm not wantable.
Yeah.
And was that message confirmed uh, or denied by your stepdad?
I mean, by his actions, it was more kind of affirmed, I guess.
Right, that you are not wantable.
Yeah,
But you
I'm
say
only
by his
wanted for
actions.
sex. I'm more wanted for sex and for my body and to be abused and
Well, and
mistreated.
were you used for sex and for your body more than when you were 10 by your stepdad? Or when you were 2 by your stepdad?
Um, no, not as far as I
So
remember.
he only sexually abused you one time
Luckily, yeah, but
because,
because my mom had taken me through the CPS rings, and she tried to get justice for me, but nothing came of it.
and so
Nothing came
what,
of it.
and so what are you feeling right now? That causes you to tear up when you say nothing came of it. What are you feeling right now?
It started
What are you feeling right now? I want a feeling word right now.
it's like a betrayal of the system. It
And
was the
give
first
me
start
a
of the betrayal of the
feeling word.
system, and
I
it
want
hurts.
it hurts. Give me another feeling word.
I I've, I just feel pain for that child of me, that baby of me.
Pain. Give me another feeling word.
anger, resentment, fear. Yeah.
And what's the biggest fear?
Fear that these things will just keep on going on for me, and I won't ever be able to protect myself because I'm too scared to protect myself.
And the fear, because the fear is if I protect myself, what will happen?
I'll probably end up dead in a way worse than me killing myself. You know, it's like, would you rather choose the man or the bear to be in the woods with? I prefer to
Right.
choose the bear, but
And so when you say, I feel anger and resentment, whom or what do you feel the most anger and resentment at?
honestly, I can't choose. There's so much
I want you
anger
to
and
choose.
resentment
Oh,
with
I
too
don't
many
doubt that for a
people.
second. You've got plenty to go around for lots of
Oh
people,
God, I
and
do. I
justifiably
do.
so. Hell, I got anger and resentment, and every single one of our motherfucking listeners has anger and resentment to go around for a whole lot of people in your life, young lady. You got a world of people listening to my show right now who are plenty angry and would love to defend that little girl that is
Thank
you right
God.
now and that was you back then. All right. But I want to know who's top of your list that you are most angry and resentful for or at.
I'd say my dad, definitely, even though I do love him.
Mm-hmm.
But God, I feel so much resentment towards him because how could you do that to a baby you chose to keep?
So much resentment, you say. Let me ask you this. Have you ever in your life hated yourself?
Yeah, most of my life.
Most of your so yeah.
I'm trying my damnedest right now to try to discover at least some form of self-compassion
No,
because I
no,
can't
no.
even formulate self-love. I
No,
can't
that's not
even.
how we do it. We don't do it by trying to formulate that. The way we sort of get rid of the hate is not by overwhelming it with love, but it's by allowing all of the self-loathing, all of those feelings to come up and to flush them out. You don't get rid of the rocks in the love cup by flushing it with love. That's not enough. You have to get the rocks out. So you said, yes, I have hated myself. At what age did you hate yourself the most?
Oh God, I don't know. It's
The
been so much
absolute most.
self-hatred.
Do your best. Change your mind in 2 minutes if you want, 2 hours, whatever you
Oh
want.
God.
When have you hated yourself the very, very most?
Maybe 2024.
2024, all right? And how old were you in 2024?
I was 23/24 years old.
All right, 23, 24 years old in 2024. All right. And what was the very earliest in your life that you hated yourself? What age?
Probably around the ages of 6, 7,
6 to 7.
I maybe recall.
And what percent do you think you hated yourself when you were 6 or 7 years old?
Probably around a 30 to 40%,
30 to
not
40%.
too high.
Not too high, but if you hated yourself 30 to 40% when you were 6 or 7 years old, wouldn't it be reasonable to say that you didn't wake up one day and say, fuck, I hate myself 30 to 40%? It was probably growing over time. Wouldn't that be
It
reasonable?
was.
Right.
Yeah.
So then it's reasonable to assume you probably hated yourself at 4 or 5, or maybe even 3 or 4. So we're talking, yeah, pretty early. So potentially 3 to 5, somewhere in there. And that sort of comports with the story that you've told. You know, it all sort of weaves together. So now, just sort of staying in that same thread, have you ever hated your stepfather?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, what percent do you hate your stepfather now?
Ah,
If you're to just be honest, you don't have to make up a number. You can just be honest.
I I used to hate him wholeheartedly, but now I have probably about a 60% hatred towards him because I've been working towards, I don't know, some form of just realizing I mean, I've known he's gonna die one day, but
So I'm
he's gonna
working
die
towards
one
what? I'm
day.
working towards what?
Some form of forgiving him.
And because if I forgive him, then what? What is the then? If forgiving is the if forgive, then what?
if I forgive him, then at least I know he may rest in the grave a little bit more
What the
comfortably.
fuck do you care if he rests in the grave a little more comfortable? When you're dead, you're dead. That's bullshit. When you're
Yeah.
dead, you're fucking dead. What is the real reason you want to forgive him?
Just making peace, honestly, with my own heart, I guess.
Making
That's so.
peace with your own heart. Okay, so now you've given me two reasons. What's the real reason? Is it one of those or is it still something else? My job
That's
is
that.
to.
Well, also, I don't know. Residential kind of pushed in my head that you're supposed to forgive. I was in residential for 3 months, back in 2024,
Okay, and let me ask
and
you this.
they
Okay,
pushed
fair.
that deeply in you.
Okay, so
Push
you're
to
supposed to
forgive,
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 right? We
forgive.
hear that everywhere. Okay, so let me ask you one more question, and that is regarding that. Is there a hope inside of you that if I forgive, then maybe he'll say, well, I'm sorry for the shit that I did to you, and I was fucking heinous, and fuck, I was terrible, and he'll own his shit, and maybe he'll fucking come around and say, you're a good girl, and I was bad, I was wrong in everything I did, and you were amazing.
No, it's more like at least he'll admit that it happened. I highly doubt he'll ever say I'm
Okay, so
sorry,
admit that it
but
happened, and
acknowledgement.
if he acknowledged that it happened, what is it about admitting of those three things then? At peace in my head, quote unquote, supposed to forgive, quote unquote, and admit and acknowledge, quote unquote. Of those three things, which is the biggest for you? Which
I
do you
just need
most
to
want? If you by supposedly forgiving him, which do you most want?
just the acknowledgement that it happened so I can
Exactly.
confirm it's a reality.
Exactly. So that you can confirm it's a reality, because right now you don't believe that what you experienced was a reality.
I'm always questioning my reality ever
And why are
since
you
dealing with
questioning?
psychosis.
And okay, but let me ask you, sure, psychosis, fine. But let me ask you, why do you question your reality? If you lived it,
Awesome.
why don't we assume just for a moment, rather than assuming your fucking head is broken, why don't we assume that your head works just motherfucking fine?
Yeah.
Why do you want confirmation that it happens? What that it happened? Is it that you want external confirmation? In other words, if if the couple that lived next door came to you and they had recordings and they came and they played everything for you and they said it's all real, it all happened, but you don't get dad acknowledging it, would that be the same as dad acknowledging it? Because it would confirm that it happened. But is that the same or no? What you want is you want to hear it from him.
I mean, I don't even know. I
Well,
don't
I'm
even
asking you
know.
right now. Do you really want confirmation that it happened, or do you want that it happened, just that it actually happened in real life, or do you want to hear from him? I know that it happened. I see what I did. It did happen. I did
I
it.
think I really, I guess I would do want to hear it from him.
And
Because, I
why do you
mean,
want to hear it from him versus the tape recordings of that lovely couple next door?
because the
Why?
fact that he's willing to admit it to my brothers and stuff, but he won't admit it to me.
Wow. Further confirmation that you don't mean shit. That's right. That this motherfucking piece of shit, he would rather protect himself. Of course, he's not going to admit he raped a 2-year-old girl. He'd be fucking in jail. He'd be a fucking pariah. He's a fucking loser. And those fuckers at fucking whatever you were in, some fucking outpost rehab, whatever the fuck it was, says you should forgive him? Are you out of your fucking mind? I got raped at 2 years old by a grown ass man and I should forgive him? He doesn't even fucking acknowledge it and I should forgive him? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck your rehab fucking halfway house. Go fuck yourself. Can you possibly further invalidate me in any possible way? Then I should forgive the very person that raped a 2-year-old and I was the 2-year-old? Fuck that. No, sorry, no.
Like, how do you even begin to forgive something like that?
No,
Genuinely.
you don't. You don't. Because what that forgiving does is it short circuits the very thing that should be coming up and out. And that's the fucking rage. That's the fucking hatred. And I feel it. I feel it right now. And I know I got a lot of loyal listeners that are fucking feeling it. And that doesn't mean we act on it. That doesn't mean we're forming a warpath party with pitchforks and fucking torches. But it means we allow that fucking rage to come up. You tell me, yes, most of my life I've hated myself. In fact, I struggle with suicidal ideations. That's pretty much I hate myself completely now. But I don't hate my dad. Oh, I forgive him. What? Hell no. The very people that taught you to hate yourself, you're being told you should forgive them. No, fuck that shit. You need to bring all that fucking hatred up and get it out in healthy ways, like fucking journaling and raging and fucking going to fucking rage rooms and journaling and writing letters you don't send. Because telling you, you're supposed to forgive, it's just garbage. If you want to forgive later down the line after you get all your fucking rage out and sadness and hurt and anger, and hey, God bless you. If you want to do that, fine. I don't give a shit. But stuffing that anger down, so all that anger is being turned on yourself.
Yeah.
You're the victim, for Christ's sake. You're the victim. You are the victim. You are literally, by definition, when you were in utero, they kept doing drugs. You were the victim before you came out of your mother. You were the victim 2 years into life. You were the victim that you were abused. For the love of God. The notion that you're killing yourself is the most upside down, twisted motherfucking shit. And I am not disparaging you as a person who has been suicidal. I got the fucking marks up my arm. All right, I got them. I've been there. Different reasons, but I've been there. The notion that you're killing yourself, that's the grandest tragedy of all of this. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
You're the fucking gem. You are the fucking diamond in all of this, the emerald in all of this. No. That's not okay. Kid, you're the best part of this whole goddamn thing. You're the best fucking part of this whole story. So we're going to take a little break here, Akari. We're going to take a break, even though I'm really enjoying making you cry. No, I'm teasing. So, Rob, go ahead and give us a little break, would you?
I cheated on my husband, and for a long time, I didn't know how to fix the wreck I'd made of our lives. I found a book, Cheating Sucks. It's actually written for people who were cheated on. I thought it would just be about blame, but it was actually the key to healing myself. It taught me how to understand why I did it, how to have true compassion for the pain I caused, and gave me the courage to finally be totally open with him. If you're struggling on either side of infidelity, Cheating Sucks changed everything for me. Get it at badasscounseling.com today, available as audiobook and paperback.
This show provides soul counseling intended to entertain and inform and is not medical advice. Now, back to the badass.
And we are back with Akari. Akari, I just want to check in real quick with you. Feeling words. What are you feeling right now? Feeling words.
I'm feeling a lot of mixed emotions.
Specifically.
Like relief and grief and stress and also feeling recognized. At least yeah.
And
There's ones I can name right now, I
that's
think.
fine. And grief. What's the grief? Give me a sentence. Sum it up. Sum the grief up in one sentence. What are you grieving?
I feel like I'm grieving the pain that I've been going through for so long. Because it feels like I'm grieving my childhood right now, and what that child absolutely deserves is love, but it's so hard for me to give that child love.
And why do you think it's so hard for you to give that child love? It's understandable, but why do you think that is?
I don't know. I've just always hated myself as a child because I wish I would have killed myself so much younger than I tried to.
And what
I
did
hate that.
You hated that you didn't kill yourself, or you hated the actual child?
I hated both.
What have you hated the most about yourself as a child?
That I lived. I kept living.
Why did you
I kept surviving.
Why do you hate that, or why have you hated that you lived?
Because I wouldn't be suffering through so much more still.
So you're mad at her for not killing herself?
That's what I was mad about most of the time, but I've been working on reconciling with that little child and letting her know that I should have never held that type of hatred. That little girl doesn't deserve that. She just wanted to survive.
What is the age?
See better days.
Sure. What is the age that she would have most likely been able to kill herself? Now, a 3-year-old probably doesn't know how to kill herself. 6 or 7-year-old, not reasonable. What is the age that you could reasonably be mad at her for not killing herself? When you've met kids, kids, whatever. What would be an age that a child could reasonably kill themselves?
The most reasonable one I could suspect for me as a kid was when I first discovered what suicide was. And that was probably around the age of 7 or 8 when I discovered that my best friend's dad killed himself from hanging himself.
So you knew what it was, but could you have executed it at 7 or 8?
I was too smart for my own good. I probably could have if I would have been dedicated to it like I am.
You could have figured it out.
Well,
so then,
was.
okay. So then let me ask you this. Why do you think that 7 or 8 years old, let's just randomly say 8, okay? Why do you think that 8-year-old, that little dummy, she should have killed herself? God dang it, I wish she would have killed herself. Why do you think she didn't kill herself?
Because she just wanted to live and have a blast with playing silly little games on her computer and wanted to enjoy the outdoors and playing outside with her friends. And
she wanted to live, have a blast, and play. Okay, so then she obviously experienced some of that, wanted to experience more of that. And the truth is, right now, you're approximately 26 years old. Right?
Yeah, I'm 25 going on 26.
You're 25, all right. And the mere fact that so that girl had hope back then of more of those days. And the mere fact that you haven't killed yourself yet says that you still have hope of more of those days. Now, if you don't kill yourself, then 35-year-old you can look back and say, oh, you dumb little bitch. At 25, you could have killed yourself. I'm so mad at you. But you're not doing it.
It goes through my head constantly.
Oh, I've been there. No, I've been there every day for years.
Really? Yes.
And multiple times a day. I totally get it. How would you do it?
I have 1,000 methods that go through my head constantly.
What's
Thousands and thousands.
what's the likely one that you'd probably defer to?
Probably my death concoction.
Okay, so you got some
Bunch of
pills, some
pills.
booze. Okay. So then let me ask you this. Okay, so you haven't done it. You think about it, but you haven't done it, which implies.
I mean, I did attempt when I was 17.
Understood, but you haven't done it. And you said, "Hey, when I was 8, I was too smart for my own good. If I really wanted to, I could have." So let's be honest, at 17, if you really wanted to act, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Exactly.
I was acting on
So the mere
impulse. I didn't think it
exactly.
through.
So even right now, the mere fact that you're alive at 25 says you haven't really fully 100% wanted to die, which says at least 0.5% or 1% or 7 1/3% you want to live. You have hope to live, to have a blast, and to play.
Yeah.
You fucking right you do, you motherfucker. I knew you did. All right. You're goddamn right. I know, man.
Trying
I've
to pursue
fucking been.
schools.
What's
I've
that?
been trying to do college for 7 years now. Of course I have something.
Hey, that's beautiful. What's your degree going to be in?
It's gonna be in psychology for my bachelor's, and then I'm gonna go for experimental psychology for my doctorates, and then I'm gonna keep on doing more and more school for the rest of my damn life because I'm a nerd.
And I tell you what, no one is better prepared for that field of study than you. You've got a lifetime experience in it, but you'll only be exceptional and great. If you want to tap your greatness, then you got to heal yourself, because then you'll understand it from the inside rather than just theoretical bullshit, which is important too. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. Then let me ask you this. How come when I asked you, who are you most angry and resentful at? And you said, who the most? And you said, Dad. And you said, oh, I have so much resentment. But you didn't use the word hate. But I bring up the word hate regarding you, and it's like, oh, fuck yeah, let's talk hate, man. Oh, yes. Oh, I love talking about hate with myself. I am so good at this. It's just like, oh, yeah. Oh, anybody else?
Literally.
Anybody else? Oh, hate's a bad word. But me? Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, juicy. Oh, I love that word on my tongue when it's talking about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that you are still protecting your abusers? You are still protecting the people who cause the most pain in your life. Is that possible?
Yes, somewhat. Some of them are not shielded anymore from my hatred. Some of them I have pure vendettas, and I'm ready to actually kill them if I could, but I can't do that. I can't go to prison.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So let's say you're visiting. I don't know where you live. We're not going to put it on the air, all right? But let's just say you're visiting some city, okay? Maybe you live in a city. I don't know. But let's just say you're visiting some city, and you're out, you have a good time. You get back to your hotel that night, and you happen to catch on the news that the very street you were on, you watch the late news after a night of fun with your friends, and earlier that night, not much past the time you were there at night, an old woman gets mugged and beat up by some young thug, right? And it's caught on a cam on the top of a light pole. But what's also caught on the cam is 30 feet away, there's a police officer watching the whole thing, and he doesn't do anything. Who, for you, commits the greater crime? There's no right or wrong answer. Everybody answers it differently. Who commits the greater crime? The young guy who beats up the old woman and steals her purse, or the cop who doesn't do anything?
Oh, the cop doesn't do anything.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. Who committed the greater crime, your mom or your dad?
Oh, God.
And how much do you want to wring my fucking neck right now?
That's a hard question. Now that one's
okay. Well, then I'll go easy on you. Give it to me in percentages. And you know I will not allow a 50-50 answer. What percent of the crime committed against you by your parental units, what percent of all the shit done to you, what percent was mom, what percent was dad? And by dad, I mean stepdad.
My mom, of course, she was no saint. She was no saint. I love her to pieces, but she was no saint. She she had a lot of flaws.
You are giving a
That
hell of a
cunt was
build up
fucked
here.
up.
There, you don't want to say what your number is. You're giving a hell of a fucking build up here. What's the fucking
I'm
number?
trying to think of the number because I love my mama, but she was a cunt. She was a bona fide cunt. I love her though. Um, I'd say I would give her a hard
Who?
45%
Okay.
because she did a lot of damage, but my dad's damage has been beyond irreparable. The most damage that her stuff caused was honestly truly her death. Her death caused more damage to me than anything, truly.
Because
My
because why? Her
because I
death.
have not, even though I was prepared for her to die at a young age for me, because I knew drug abuse never lasts in a happy ending.
Why was her death the biggest thing that she did to you? Because that makes her passive. Why is her death the biggest thing that she did, biggest crime she committed against you? In one sentence or less.
Because I want her to be around to see me graduate.
But why is that a crime?
Because she could have stopped abusing drugs. She could have stopped abusing drugs way earlier in life.
Understood. What she could have done. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, how was that a crime that she inflicted on you? Hitting a child, that's a crime. Or telling a child over and over again, you're stupid, you're fat, you're stupid, you're fat. That's a crime against the child. How is them dying and not being there for your graduation from college? How is that a crime? How is that the greatest crime?
She left me behind. She left me behind.
Come on, what's the real answer now? Dig deep. What's the real answer? You're giving a bunch of different answers here. What's the real way that your mother, what is the grand crime that your mother committed against you? You can give any answer you want. I just want you to dig deep and give the real fucking answer. Whatever it is, I'll accept it, but I just feel like you may be floating a little bit on this answer, and I could be wrong.
I mean,
what is the crime?
truly,
What is the pain, ultimate pain that your mother inflicted on you?
trauma dumping so much of her life on me when I was too young to process it, even though I really did need to know at some point, but not at the ages of 4, 5,
And what
6,
was
7.
okay? So now you've given a few reasons, all good reasons. What was the effect of her trauma dumping, to use your word? In other words, using you as her little therapist. What was the effect of that?
The effect of that was me knowing way too much for my little brain to comprehend. I mean,
And so what was the biggest crime that your stepdad committed against you? And you called it beyond irreparable. It's been beyond irreparable. Just for the record, it's not irreparable. It may have been up to this point, but it's not irreparable. But anyway, what is the fundamental biggest pain, biggest crime that your stepdad has committed against you in your lifetime?
neglecting me truly after mom died.
Neglecting me after mom died. And so let me ask you this then. Is mom's crime against you in dying, your first answer, leaving you alone because that meant you were really alone? At least if she was alive, you had someone and you weren't alone in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. And at least you had some, even though it was shit in many ways, at least you had someone.
Yeah.
Right. And your mom died from what? Overdose?
Just long-term drug abuse.
Long-term drug abuse. Okay.
It caused her organs to start shutting down and everything. So she was in hospice. And when she died, I was the one who helped clean her body up with the hospice nurses.
Were the crimes committed against you by your stepdad in your earliest years greater or worse than the crimes committed against you in him neglecting you after she died? Because he had always neglected you to a large degree.
Oh, honestly. Oh God, that's a good question. I'd say they're kind of equal, I guess, in degree.
Okay. And if one were slightly worse?
I'd say what he did in my childhood, in my younger years.
Okay.
Younger years.
And what leaps out at you as worst in the younger years, as the worst thing in your younger years? that just hurt you the most?
Of course, sexually abusing me at the age of 2. I mean, I was literally a baby. How can you do that to an infant
And
toddler?
is it the actual event that you recall and the impacts of it, or is it the notion of it that really resonates inside of you? And as a person who hasn't experienced it, this is an honest question.
It's remembering how I started to do things in reality as a younger child after that. Remembering how
How
I had
did
a
you start?
hypersexuality and everything, remembering my hypersexuality and how it started manifesting from the age of 4 for whenever I started having actual memory. Um, how I just never was a normal child after that.
Okay. And
And
so then,
always wondering why that was. I never understood what was going on with myself. I was just acting as a little kid
of course.
would after sexually being abused.
Well, and if you're becoming hypersexual, doesn't it stand to reason? Let me throw this out there. This is an honest question. Tell me to go fuck myself, or don't answer it. If you don't want to answer it, I'm on your terms here, okay? The hypersexuality, you had gotten dad's attention. And that one way you could get attention was through your sexuality, even at 4 years old. And so that in the form of positive attention versus put downs or abuse or anything like that. And so is the child using that, the child that you were using that as a means to get positive attention?
Honestly, I don't remember. I remember hiding in my tent whenever I would do naughty things. I would hide in my little princess tent.
So you weren't necessarily hypersexual outwardly to other people, but you were your own body. Got it. Okay,
Yeah,
that
I
helps
would keep
clarify.
it very secret, luckily.
There we
I
go.
was trying to make sure. I don't know if I had a perception of what was bad for others to see or not, but
Fair.
I guess I did.
Okay, so I want to ask you this then. So then if your childhood, if your younger years were more traumatic than after your mom died in terms of what your stepdad did to you, and the worst part was that what was done to you sexually at age 2, if that's true, and I believe you, then your dad, if that was the crime, fundamentally the biggest crime, then your youngest years, worse than the neglect in him leaving you alone in the world after mom dies, okay, it's those younger years and what he did to you sexually, if that's the crime, then he's the mugger beating up the old woman, and your mom is the cop.
Yeah. And also CPS too, of course.
Right. So let me ask you then. So your mother knew that your dad raped you, right?
Yeah, and
And,
she tried to run to CPS as soon as it happened, as soon as she found out, at least as far as I know about the case
which is
records
great.
and
God
stuff.
bless her. Forgive me for asking a dumb question, but it's an honest question. Why did she not leave?
As far as I know, it seemed like in her head she thought that if she were to leave, she would lose everything to do with me. She would lose custody of me, of course, because she abused drugs.
But
Even
he
though,
did too.
as yes, but because he was a military man, he was able to hide everything under the guise of that. And
Uh-huh.
that is another reason why he was probably able to get out of the grips of what CPS was probably charging him
And
for.
just so I'm clear, where and let's be really, really clear here. I am doing my work here, investigative work for little 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 7-year-old Akari, okay? Where have you gotten this story?
I've gotten this from multiple family sources and also my mother, somewhat, whenever she was alive when I was a kid. So I've
Okay.
had it updated over the years since being in my teens and 20s
Okay, and
from other family
can I be
and my aunt who was included in the source.
and aunt is mom's sister?
Yeah, but not biological sister. That was her sister-in-law.
So
And she was,
your dad's no, sister-in-law. So brother's wife, your mom's brother's
yeah,
wife. Okay, God. Just
yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at is this. Devil's advocate for a minute. You really have no way of knowing if any of the story that you have gotten is bullshit.
Somewhat, yes, but also at the same time, I do remember being part of CPS's stuff. I was put in foster care for a solid month and a half with a foster family when I was about 3 years old. And I remember that family because I was part of their lives for a long time after I got out.
Let me ask you this.
And
Let me ask you this. If you were in the identical situation as your mother, what would you do?
I would have probably actually just killed the man. I probably got sent to prison because I don't very much play too well about pedophilia.
Okay, and then let me ask you this. So that's what you would have done.
I'd probably been like, yeah, I'm
Got it.
I'm
That's
sorry.
fair. That's fair.
That's how it's going to go.
I hear you. I hear you. And then let me ask you this. What do you wish your mother would have done?
I wish she would have accepted my aunt and uncle's invitation to just stay with them. Because she could have just stayed with them with me. And
Why didn't she do it?
I have no idea.
So she had
have
an
no
out.
idea.
She had a motherfucking out.
I
Now,
only found that out recently.
okay, so then let's assume your brain operates just fucking fine. You knew her not just as well as anyone, you knew her better because you were her fucking psychologist. You were smarter than your average 8-year-old. You were taking in her whole story. So even if you lacked the skills of a professional psychologist, obviously, you know her whole fucking story. It's all in you. Okay. Based on everything you know about your mom, what would you speculate was the reason she did not accept your aunt and uncle's offer to take her and you into safety?
Drugs. 100% drugs.
So your mom chose drugs over the safety of her child.
Most likely.
And
Most likely.
Okay. And so then she can, and that would have been as early as 2 years old. Is that correct? So you could have had a radically different life. She could have gone to fucking rehab, dumped you with aunt and uncle, rehabbed the fuck out of herself, or just she could have dumped you with aunt and uncle and gone and done her own fucking drugs.
Yes.
Would that have been a better option?
Yes.
Not optimum, but
100%. But it would have been something better.
And
Because I
so
would still
then-
have been able to see my mother.
But
I still would have been.
right. So then why didn't she choose that? She could still have her drugs. Why didn't she choose that? Why did she choose to keep you while she did her drugs if she could have still had the drugs and dumped you with aunt and uncle?
I have a feeling her brain might have been catastrophizing.
Okay, right.
Maybe.
And
Maybe, but I don't wanna give
catastrophizing
her that
what?
excuse.
Fine, that's an excuse.
Exactly.
Right, but if we were to say that, she had savvy enough to hold on to you, what did she get out of holding on to you? Did she get money from the government? Did she? No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
She had no custody of me
Then what
the
did
entire
she
time.
get from it? Were you her security blanket? What, you know her as well or better than anyone. Knowing your mom for who she was, what do you think the real reason is? Because she chose herself and her drugs over the safety of her daughter, but she could have still sent her to your loving aunt and uncle. Why didn't she? Why did she keep her for herself and drag you down with her?
Maybe she had a lack of trust in everybody else. Because of paranoia. Even though I was no safer in the household with her and my dad. I mean, but
okay,
maybe
that's
she
one
felt
reason.
like I was safer with her only.
Really? So she was so fucking out there that she actually thought that in her drug environment she was safer than with your aunt and uncle who didn't do drugs.
Maybe.
She was potentially. Okay,
I mean,
that's
she
a
was-
maybe. So if we're entertaining maybes, then if there were a selfish maybe, what was the selfish maybe? Because that sounds to me kind of like maybe defending the very person who inflicted the next fucking 10 more years of shit on you.
Yeah.
Maybe we're still defending mom. So if we're going to entertain that
Yeah.
maybe, then I want you to entertain the maybe of what was the selfish reason.
Of herself.
Why did mom do it?
Because she just wanted to keep me by her side. Dude.
Why?
I don't know.
Speculate. What did she get out of it?
Is her junior to do dumb shit with when I grew up, even though I wasn't the same as
So
her.
are you so
Not
even when you were
not
little,
nearly as much.
but she made the decision when you were 2. So what were you? Her little dolly that she, come on, Dolly, let's go. Come on. You were her little dolly sort of thing?
Kinda. I mean, we'd sometimes she'd take me over to her best friend's house doing God knows what.
And it
I
made
mean,
her
we'd go
feel
out and
what
do
then?
crazy
By
things.
having her little dolly and later her little friend that she could drag everywhere, it made her feel what?
Like she had a mini best friend. I
Feeling
guess.
word. I want a feeling word.
Young, happy, free.
Wouldn't so you if you made her feel free, then you weren't a burden to her.
I don't think I was truly a burden to her. Mm-mm.
Okay, so then you made her feel young, happy, and free. Somehow you
Despite the
made,
fact.
and so young, happy, and free, those are all positive feelings. So you fundamentally were a source of joy to her life.
Yeah, somewhat.
And she could dump all her problems onto you.
Yeah.
Because if she didn't have you, then she wouldn't have any of those things. Of course, she didn't want to get rid of you.
Yeah.
So you existed to serve her needs.
Yeah. Wholeheartedly.
So she was using
I
you.
do.
So she was using you.
Yes. Yes.
And just so I'm clear, just so we're clear on the numbers then, what percent was the crime that your mom committed against you, and what percent was the crime that your dad committed against you?
My mom's at a solid 45, while my dad's at a solid.
Oh, that's what you said. That's what you said.
65?
Who?
Dad's at solid 65, I think.
Oh,
I'll
so
make
dad's
him at.
number jumped from 50. You said 45, 55. 45 mom, 55 dad.
I couldn't remember what I put in
That's
that
all right.
earlier. I'm sorry.
So, all right. So who committed the greater crime? I don't care what the answer is.
Honestly.
I just want the fucking truth. She could have gotten you out of there.
They both committed beyond heinous crimes. But
No doubt
Mom
about it.
definitely, Mom was beyond fucked up. She should have got me out of there. She definitely committed a more heinous crime by never saving me. She definitely committed a more heinous crime by not saving me. And not saving herself at the same time.
What does that make you feel?
Sorrow for the both of us.
What else? Anything else?
Wee bit of rage, not too much so, because I've always felt rage at my mom. We used to fight constantly when I was a kid
So
too.
you feel guilty having it now?
A little bit, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, you
'Cause,
don't
I
want-
mean, she would tell me to go to hell, you cunt, and I would cuss her back out, and then sometimes we'd choke each other out when I was younger and stuff too. Yeah. It's just the way the cookie crumbles when your mother is addicted to
So
Xanax
she'd
and
call you a
Lortabs.
cunt and choke you out prior to her dying when you were 13 years old.
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah, that
earliest
was
your mom
her.
called you a cunt or choked you out?
Probably like
Be honest. Don't
7.
fucking protect her. What's the
I think
fucking
like
truth?
7.
7 years old. Which one was it? You were called a cunt or choked out or both?
That was probably just being called a cunt. And
At
I
age
asked,
7
Mommy,
and-
what's a cunt?
Okay, so you were called a cunt at age 7 and you were choked out at what age?
I was probably I think it's probably around 11 years old when
Right.
me and her were drinking together because she made me her drinking buddy.
Okay. All right. Listen, kid. First of all, you say in your write-up that I am my biggest gaslighter from so much manipulation through my entire fucking life. You are not your biggest gaslighter. Just for the record, your authentic self isn't gaslighting you. Your authentic self isn't tearing you down, criticizing you, telling you you're wackadoodle, all that. That's not your authentic self. That's all the bullshit you've been conditioned to believe about yourself. Your authentic self is the one, that voice inside you, that divine spark that says you are fucking beautiful. God damn, you are beautiful. Your soul is beautiful. Your spirit is beautiful. Your everything about you, your countenance, your carriage, everything about you is beautiful. So the gaslighting, that ain't you. Oh no, that's that voice saying you're a cunt. That's that voice saying, come here, little girl, I'm going to rape you. That's that voice saying, you're worthless. I don't want to be around you. That's all those other voices whose fucking job it was to love you. And you know what? Let me ask you this. If by accident or by choice you ever had a child, would you parent them differently?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's
And
why
based on your
I work
experience,
so hard
of course, based on your
trying to work on
experience,
myself.
based on your experience with children, are children difficult to love?
No.
Right. I mean, you have bad days, right? We all have bad
Like,
days.
yeah, you have bad
Right,
days, but you better fix up your fucking face and handle it.
Right, but a
parent
child,
or an adult
but just a child himself, a child, they're pretty lovable, aren't they?
They're so cute and adorable with their little chubby cheeks
Thank
and
you.
little ET looking eyes.
Thank you. My twins came out and visited just this weekend, and let me tell you, it's just the chubby cheeks and the bellies, and you want to go slurp it. Yeah. Okay, right. And their personalities, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, right. You were easy to love. You still are. But you were taught precisely the opposite. You were taught a lie. And it was fucking bullshit from the beginning, and it's still bullshit. Okay? But the problem is, part of the problem is you're still protecting the very people who abused you. Top of the list is not dad. Top of the list is mom. And you say, well, we yelled at each other so much, blah, 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 blah. And you can't bear the thought of being mad at her, of raging at her. You can't bear the thought of getting all your hatred out. The truth is, deep down, I don't doubt that you love your mom. I don't. But you used the phrase very early on today. You used the phrase, I have a lot of mixed emotions. So you believe in mixed emotions. You believe it's possible to have multiple feelings at the same time, even opposite feelings. So then that means it's possible to have love and hate at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, so just because if you were to bring up all your rage, all your hatred at your mother and your father, but I'm talking about mom in particular, that doesn't mean you don't love your mom. It means what you're doing is finally giving yourself permission to tell her, you stupid cunt, mom, I love you so much, but what the fuck? Fuck you. You could have given me to auntie blah, blah, blah and uncle blah, 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 and I could have had a safe and happy childhood, but you're so selfish. God, mom, I hate you so much for that. And you need to hate her for as long as you need to hate her. And you need to be bringing that up. And if you don't give yourself permission to do that, you're going to turn that hate on yourself because that's what you were conditioned to do. If a child is being called names like that and being taught that they're worthless and being pushed away, the child believes they are worthless. And they're going to turn that hatred on themselves. You've been taught to hate yourself. You're an expert at hating yourself. That's why you want to kill yourself. But that divine spark inside won't let you. It won't let you. It's like, no, your soul is saying, all this crap, all this crud inside of us, this ain't who we are. That divine spark is the most blessed part about that 2, 4, 7, 8, 13, 11-year-old girl. She's keeping you alive. And she's still in there. And so what we have to do is get out all those other bullshit messages. But you still want to protect mommy and you still want to protect daddy because you believe if I were to actually sick all my venom onto them, like the pack of wolves that is inside of me wants to do, that I would be alone. I have to hold on to my abusers, because if I don't have my abusers, I would be alone. Yeah, you would. But the truth is this, if we're being really fucking honest here, Akari, you've been alone your whole fucking life.
Yeah.
They didn't want you. You said their actions said they didn't want you. Their actions said they didn't love you. Their actions of love would have been, I love you so much, I'm going to give you up to my sister or sister-in-law and her husband. They are good, decent people. That's love. And they didn't. That's why you haven't felt loved, because you were taught to not love yourself. A child was taught that they were unlovable, but that is impossible. It's literally impossible for a child to be unlovable. You fucking know. Show me a child that's unlovable and I'll call bullshit in 2 fucking seconds flat. Of course. Of course. You were a sterling child. Not because of what you did or you did chores or you were a good girl. Or, no, just because you were you. Your crazy hair or your, rambunctious, playful, wonderful attitude, or you were so sweet, and all those things, full of laughter and play. And it's still in you. And all this other stuff is just bullshit. It's all bullshit. It was all a lie. There is not a goddamn thing wrong with you. Literally nothing. There never was. So, what are you feeling? I want to just check in here before we sort of call it.
I'm feeling relief that I was able to talk about my emotions so kind of freely for the first time with someone. As usually with therapists and psychiatrists, et cetera, I usually have to make a scripted type of lines type of thing to make sure I'm not getting locked up in a psychiatric 72-hour hold and stuff.
I'm coming for you, Akari. I'm coming for you.
Oh God, here comes the gurney and the grippy sock prison and everything else.
All right, so relief.
I've done that 3 times, and
okay. So you feel relief
not to
over expressing your feelings freely, your emotions freely. You feel relief. What else do you feel right now? What's going on inside you? What do you feel?
I feel a lot of sorrow and grief and exhaustion too. Very much exhaustion from letting out all these emotions too.
Yes.
But also I feel hope. I definitely feel some glimmers of hope, like that. I think that I should that maybe I am doing things the right way this time. Maybe this time I really am doing things correctly, and I'm trying, even though it feels like I'm running in place. Maybe I am doing it the right way, and it's just I gotta remember I'm taking it one baby step at a time.
Yeah, I got news for you, Akari. It's not maybe I am doing it right this time. Kid, you've been doing it right the whole time.
Thank you.
You put any other person in the odds. You survived a drug in utero, drug birth with no effects. That's a strong body right there.
I know, it's insane.
That is insane, you little fucking cuckoo bird. You use the word insane, so I can say cuckoo bird if you say it's all right. Anyway, and you survived everything.
That could.
But then you're doing the work and you're doing it. You haven't been doing it different and better this time. You've been doing it great the whole time. It's just that when the whole world is launching bombs at you, man, it's like you've been in war mode your whole life and you're coming out of it now. You're actually, there's the old saying, how far can you go into a forest? Well, only halfway, because the other half, you're going out of the forest. You're on your way out of the forest. And now, If now you just double down. Now it's just like, fuck. Because what you're saying, you have just defined what your prescription is of what you need to do. Because I asked you what you feel. You said relief from being able to express my emotions freely, and sorrow, grief, exhaustion. So and then I feel hope. Okay, so that means what you need to do, you've just defined what we've done. What have we done? We've enabled Akari to express her emotions freely. You need to be busting your fucking balls, your ovaries, to fucking go into free expression of your fucking feelings on the deepest, ugliest, nastiest shit. And stay away from the psychological jargon. Just get into real words, real sentences, real experiences. Stop doubting your shit. Assume your brain works fine. Your memories are solid. And fucking write out all your feelings. Stop protecting mom. All right? Turn on the cop instead of just the person beating up the old lady. Mom had a responsibility to protect you. And dad, you need to flush all that out. You need to do free expression of your emotions in your journaling and your letter writing. All right. We're going to get you the book. That's going to take you in. You got to have the balls to do the heavy work. But then you said, I feel sorrow, grief, and exhaustion. Exactly. You are grieving. You are grieving the childhood you didn't get. You are grieving the parents you never got. You are grieving the childhood that was stolen from you, the life that was stolen from you. You are grieving the death of your mother. You're grieving the death of the two fathers that were never fathers to you. You are grieving the sorrow of being alone your entire life. And you are grieving the exhaustion, the fatigue of running so hard, so long. You do the free expression of all your emotions like we've done today. You can do so much of this yourself. Trust me, I had to fucking do it myself to get myself out of my suicidal depression. And you do the grieving and the sorrow and willingness to be exhausted. And then your hope, the third thing you said, will increase percent by percent by percent. And the harder you hit this shit, the more your hope will increase. We saw it just today. We saw it. You just keep working this fucking formula and you're going to see your momentum increase. You'll start to feel physically lighter. You'll start to feel more relief. You'll start to feel more hope. I fucking guarantee it. All right? I fucking guarantee it. And you fucking call me back and prove me wrong. If you're fucking suicidal, you fucking call me and prove me fucking wrong. And I'll fucking ram this shit down your throat. We'll do all this shit again. I'll work you the fuck over again. All right?
Hey, I need that.
No,
I need that sometime.
Hey, we'll do it. But I want you to dive into this shit. We're going to get you the book, but I want you to dive in, all right? You can heal I don't need to tell you, you can heal yourself. You've been doing it. So now I just need you to up the game because you know the direction you need to take it. You're a badass, Akari. So I'm serious. Put anybody else in what you've gone through, no fucking way. No fucking way. Sorry, you're a killer in the best of ways. Rob, any thoughts here?
Well, Sven, we've had some sad stories on our show, but I've been on the verge of tears for this entire episode.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that Akari has hope, and she has every reason to feel that hope. I think she has all the tools to find her way into the light here. And all I can say is I think our entire listening audience wants to reach out and be protective and supportive. I certainly feel that way. And the other thing I know as an absolute fact is I want to read her doctoral dissertation.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I want to be there for your oral defense.
Yeah.
And just one final thought, and that is, Akari, if you don't do this work and commit to it, see that little girl, that 24711, she's coming to you with the cigar boxes full that she found, full of all of the chits, all the receipts of all of her feelings that she felt that weren't safe for her to get out. All of her sadness, anger, frustration, sorrow, rage, hatred, depression, all of it is in there. She's saying, please open it. It wasn't safe for me. You're a woman. You can do it. I wasn't strong enough. And that 11-year-old self is behind her with cigar box, and the 17-year-old self. And the 22-year-old self she's there with her cigar boxes. And she's crying, and she's saying, I'm sorry. I wasn't strong enough to heal. I'm sorry. I didn't do it for you. I'm sorry. And she's so sad that she's let you down. 24-year-old self is even sadder because that's just a year ago. She said, I'm so sorry that you had to go through another year of it. I should have healed so that you don't have to. And 50-year-old self is coming from the other direction. She's taking you, your sweet face in her hands, and she's saying, girl, I got you. She's giving you the biggest hug, and she says, you're doing just fine. Now come here. And she's giving you the biggest hug. And she's saying, you're fine. Now come on. It's time to heal. And you're with her behind you, rubbing your shoulders, stroking your hair. She's going back with you to open all those boxes and to release all those emotions freely, to set all those past girls that you were free. And what you get out of it is you get to see who you authentically were, because every one of those chits is your authentic self. Who you really were, your real feelings, not the ones you were taught you should feel and the bullshit you were taught you should believe. And here's the thing. If you don't go in and do this work, then you are saying to your little 8-year-old self, you're not important, you're worthless, you're not worth me going in and doing the work. Now it's you saying it to her. It's not them, now it's you. You have an obligation to go back and protect her and heal her. And you can. And I believe in you, kiddo. I believe in you. All right?
Thank you.
All right. I expect you to check back in with this fucking show, man.
Thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate y'all, all of you on the team. Thank you.
You bet. Pleasure was ours. Thank you. And to all of our listeners, thank you for tuning in to this amazing story and for all the love that I know you are sending to Akari and her courageous story. Remember, healing should not take a long time. Slay your demons. Have a kick-ass day.
The Badass Counseling Show is strictly copyrighted. No copies may be made without the express written consent of the Badass Counseling Show, LLC. The Badass Counseling Show is produced by Karen Camparelli and Robert H. Friedman. Executive producer Sven Erlandson. Original music by 2-time Emmy Award-winning composer Trevor Morris. Have a kick-ass day.